Okay, I think we're live. Yep, we're live. Okay. Sorry, we're not live, but we are recording this. This is our Feedback Friday. So we had some good questions come through, and we're going to kind of talk about them. But first, I want to kind of do a quick little announcement here. We do have some face masks that we got with our precision logo on them. Okay, they are designed to kind of go on over your head like I did, or just around your ears. So you can kind of choose. They're very high quality. They're double layered, and anyway, so we got them in. We got both adult and kid sizes. Okay, which most people don't have the kid sizes. So we have both adult and kid sizes. So I thought I'd kind of point that out there as well. So if you want some, you'll have to contact Miss Nikki, and she will make the arrangements to get them to you. Okay. Anyways, I wanted to kind of talk about that, but they are pretty exciting. We just got them in yesterday. Okay, so let's get on to Feedback Friday. I didn't tell the staff that because I wanted to see their reactions, and I got a couple of good reactions there. I'm going to quickly read through some of the questions, so that way if you don't need to know something, you kind of have the order that we're going to be going in, and that way you can kind of fast forward through the video since this is a playback, and you can get to the questions that you want to get to. So we are going to be talking about my kid is bored, we're spending too much time on electronics. We're going to be kind of talking about different ways to burn your child's energy. My child can't socialize with others. What can they do about social interactions, about engaging in classes, or being motivated to do the online classes. We'll be talking about the Level Up program and how it's different from tip testing. We'll be talking about if my child misses a Level Up class and what I should do about that. We'll be talking about how do I know if I earned an award from the Precision Challenge, and how do I get my different awards. And if there's not enough laptops for doing homework or Zoom classes, or enough devices to get my online classes done. And we'll be talking about how to help my kids because they're doing Common Core, other stuff that I don't remember, I wasn't taught when I was a kid, and different things of that nature. Okay, so let's dive right into this here so we don't waste anyone's time here. Mr. Harris, you had the first one here, and I know we've done a lot of different classes with different experts, and you know, you're becoming that child expert in our area here. So my kid is bored or spending too much time on electronics, Mr. Harris. What can we do about that?
So there's a couple different options. In our classes, Mr. Moody and Mr. Vidra and I, we always try to give them a homework assignment. And so that'll give them something else to kind of work on. So if you're there to the end of the class, you can kind of hear that homework assignment and, you know, give them something else to kind of take some time off of their video games. We do our, we talked about this last week, we have our precision challenges, and that's an awesome way on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays to kind of get up off of the video games and do a little extra stuff that way. So other than that, the videos are all on YouTube, plus there's extra content on YouTube that we don't do in the classes to give them extra drills and extra techniques to work on. So I would say just try to have them go and practice different stuff. Maybe pick up at a couple extra hobbies. I've had some kids that are doing the karate classes, but they're also trying to learn an extra instrument or learn another language. So there's, you know, a lot of different stuff that we can do to keep them involved or active.
Okay, great. And kind of relation to that, you know, because they are sitting on, you know, watching TV or playing on their devices or something like that, sometimes they get a lot of energy. Mr. Moody, I know I've seen videos of you jumping and doing flips and tricks in the park. So what are some different ways that kids can kind of burn off their energy?
Yeah, so a great way to kind of do that is just to go outside, going on a bike ride, or if you got a swimming pool, you go swimming. I know some parks are closed, but there's I go to like a retention basin that's by my house, and there's no one around. But I'm running around. I'm using my bow staff. Bow staff doesn't really fit in my house, so going outside is a really great way to do that. We've got our morning workout too that Mr. Vidra does a really good job with, to just, in the morning, gets you awake, burns off some of that energy, makes you focus up, and it really helps you help out with the rest of the day. So that's great.
All right, great job. And Mr. Vidra, my kid's having a hard time. I know you're kind of the social butterfly and socialite here in the studio. My child's having a hard time socializing with others because they can't intermix and stuff like that. So they're kind of missing that social interaction. What is your advice for that?
That's a really good question. Zoom's been a super helpful tool for us, that we're able to use them like to kind of hang out with multiple friends as they do the classes. Just like tomorrow we're going to be having our first Zoom party for everyone that's completed the challenges, either 9 or more of them. We also have group private lessons that we do offer for them. So if they want to do like a lesson with a few of their friends or one of their other friends, just kind of like what we did at the studio too, where they could do the private lessons with their friends. We open that up to them so that they're able to socialize a little bit more with that.
Very good. And they can stay on after the workout or the lesson and socialize with the friends that way too, correct?
Absolutely, sir. Even in all of my classes that I do with all my Zoom people, I shut off YouTube first, and then I have like the Zoom guys stay after for just a little bit so we can chit chat, kind of socialize. I feel like it helps a lot with the students, and we have a lot of fun.
Very good, very good. Thank you. Okay. So, Mr. Harris, one of the questions you guys, my child does love class and is there a lot, but is there something else that I should be doing to help with their training at home? I'm not a black belt or I'm not a martial artist, but my kid loves class, and what can I do to help?
As far as you getting involved to help out, I do have some parents that join in on the classes, and the students always really enjoy that. And there's always a couple activities I'll do with the parents, so that way you guys can go and work with them, and that will help with their excitement. As far as other excitements and getting them engaged in other martial arts, one big thing that opened up for me was kind of exploring martial arts more through YouTube and also through meeting opportunities that I had, but watching people like Tyler Weaver or Caitlin Deschelle and finding a weapon that I loved and then just constantly practicing that. So checking out the martial arts content that's out there and watching pros do it, I think generally helps a lot, because then you can find and say like, hey, I want to do that with the bow staff. And then once you get that kind of excitement about it, you can continue, and the child is always going to want to have that bow staff and always going to want to have that nunchuck in their hand and always want to be practicing for the next big thing. So just involve yourself more in the martial arts, do the morning workouts, do the classes as many times as you can, and then just get the student more involved in martial arts. The more martial arts becomes the world, the more they're going to want to do and the more people they're going to want to bring into it.
Okay, that sounds great. We started this new Level Up program. Can you kind of explain the Level Up program, Mr. Harris, and kind of maybe how it's a little bit different than tip testing and stuff?
Okay, so I've actually gotten a lot of questions about this, not just from parents, but students during the class. We had our first Level Up days, Wednesday and Thursday. So tip testing is short for training incentive program. And the whole idea was the tip testing was to give students goals to kind of practice for at home. So the Level Up is similar in that way, where the whole point of the Level Up is we want the students to now practice and become more engaged at home. Where the main difference is we've taken the focus away from perfect or proper techniques done very, very well, to now we're more focused on the attendance and the effort, right? So the student needs to be showing up to class, and then while they're in class, trying their hardest. And that's what's going to really help them level up.
All right, thank you. And then, Mr. Vidra, if my child misses a level up class, what should I do?
If they miss a level up class, that's no big issue. Just like when we did regular classes for the tip testing, we offer it 2 days throughout the week. Monday and Thursday. If they end up missing both of those days, then what we can do is we can set up a private lesson with them over Zoom, where we can go over it. And if they're still not having the opportunity to kind of do that, or maybe they can't use Zoom, some students can't use Zoom. What we can do is we can give them a phone call, because we have to hit those three. We have to hit those three things. We have to hit the attitude, we have to hit the effort, and we have to hit the attendance. We got to know that they're attending classes. We want to hear their effort, hear their attitude about the classes and how they're going along with the classes too, so that we can determine the level up for the classes.
And they can level up, not on just a level up class, but they can level up at any time that they're showing some of those extra qualities, correct?
Absolutely. So even after the level up class, throughout the week, if they're showing that awesome attendance, they're coming to like every class, they're showing a lot of effort. They got the super high kicks, really good kias in there, and their attitude is just amazing. And they're going to be leveling up a whole lot, right? We're going to be noticing that they're taking that extra initiative. They're having a lot of fun with it. They're going above and beyond, and we'll start giving them more levels as they go. I know before we talked about, you have at least six levels in order to get your belt, correct?
Yes, sir. You have to get six levels to get your belt, but we have some extra incentives for those that want to go past 6. So if they want to get to level 10 or level 12, then we have some extra
Right.
levels or some extra incentives with patches and stuff that we're going to be sharing with everyone here in a little bit. So that sounds great. Miss Nikki, part of the leveling up program is, of course, turning in some BBE sheets. They can level up with turning in a BBE sheet. So how do we get those, and how do we turn them in? And can you talk a little bit about the BBE sheets, Miss Nikki?
Of course. So BBE Sheets, there are 2 different ways you can get them. They are posted in our Facebook group underneath the files, and then we also email those out. However, if you guys can't find either of those, you're more than welcome to just shoot me an email, and I'm happy to resend it to you. I'm gonna send it to a couple people in the last few days, especially since this leveling up has come out, because all the kids want to level up. And then super easy to turn it in. There's a couple different ways. You can scan it in and email it back to us. You can either email it to the info@pmaymesa.com, or you can email it to me at miss.nikki@pmaymesa.com. You can even take a picture of it and send it to our texting number and send it in that way, or post it in our Facebook Messenger. So there's plenty of different ways and different opportunities that you can turn in your BBE sheets.
All right, very good. And then, Mr. Harris, can my child explore and try out other different online classes, or are they limited to just the regular classes? So if they wanted to try out like a weapons class or the Mr. Vidra's jiu-jitsu class, can they try out some of those other specialty classes?
Yes, they absolutely can. What I always say with those is, if you're interested, send an email to Miss Nikki. One thing, it helps the instructor kind of prepare and know that we're going to have a new student to them, so we can tailor a little bit towards that new student and help make sure they're acclimated to the new competitions class environment, because it is a slightly different kind of training mindset. But make sure you email Miss Nikki. But I always want a kid to try something out, so if they're interested in maybe going into the weapons or going into the grappling, yeah, they can absolutely try those out. They are an upgraded program, so just again, shoot Miss Nikki an email just to let her know that you're interested in trying them. And then as far as like that, there's the other online classes. So I did want to mention, showing up to a class is always going to be better than not showing up to a class. So if you say miss like your one class at like 3 o'clock, don't feel afraid about hopping in to maybe like a 6 o'clock class, because even just hopping into the advanced class as a younger kid, we're going to go a little bit faster, but you're still going to get a workout. And if the instructor sees you, then they're going to give you some assignments. So yeah, just get into the class you can get into, and don't feel like because you missed your regular class you can't do karate that day. So we just want you guys to be involved, and as long as the instructor sees you, we can work with you.
I'm glad you mentioned that the instructor can kind of tailor some things, even though they're doing a class with everyone else. They can say, hey, but Billy, over here, I know you're still wipe out. I want you to go and practice your front kicks for a few minutes there, okay? So I really liked how you pointed that out there, okay? And Miss Nikki, if my child's having a hard time with their forms because they miss classes or they're trying to get caught up or they're just not doing it, is there a way that they can, set some of those private lessons up? I know Mr. Beecher talked about group private lessons, different things. What's the best way to kind of do some of those setting up?
So the best way to set them up is going to either be to call on the phone and talk to us, and we can set you up. If you need to see the time that they are available, they are listed on the online class schedule, the times that we have set aside to give the kids private lessons. If that's something you're interested in, you could also shoot us an email. When we do these, we will set these up through Zoom, and then we will send you your the ID number for your Zoom meeting, as well as the password for your meeting. So the instructor does have to be in there first before you can go in. So if you just they're a little bit early, they usually start about 5 minutes early. But the best way is definitely going to be to give us a call and talk to us, or shoot us an email.
All right, very good. Okay. Mr. Vidra, back to the precision challenge real fast. So we've been doing it now for a few weeks. I forget what challenge we're on. I think 13, 14, 15, something like that. How do we know if I'm getting an award, and how do I get my awards?
That's a really good question, because I know it can be really confusing at times. As you complete the challenges, you're going to be receiving, certain rewards, like the Zoom party or the like Corona board, and I'll kind of hit on those two topics for right now, because those are the two kind of first ones that we'll be seeing here. So for the stuff like the party, we're waiting until we have like a good group of students, and I mean like a good amount of them. So we're not just doing a Zoom party every weekend for like 2 people or so. We want to wait till we get like about 10 people or so. And then as we get that group together, we'll go ahead and set it up on like a Saturday, like tomorrow. We have it set it up for Saturday at noon, and then those specific people will get sent out an email for the Corona board and like other tangible merchandise like that. We're putting it together, we're ordering it, we're setting it up, and so once we get that, then we'll be sending out emails with specific items as well. So check out for the emails on the items. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We're always open to your guys' comments, questions, concerns, and stuff.
Okay, Mr. Moody, I know that there's a lot of kids in your family, and so if there's not enough devices for them to do their different Zoom meetings, either through karate or just regular classes, I know my kids, they got regular classes and they're doing piano lessons through Zoom and other things. So if there's not enough devices to do schoolwork and stuff, how is your family handling that with so many kids and needing so many devices and noise levels and things?
So yeah, it can be kind of busy at my house with all the piano lessons, the karate lessons. Some of my siblings have been doing Duolingo to learn another language, and so all of it's needing the laptop or the phone or something. But the best way to kind of work around that is to figure out a schedule. So like our karate classes are at a certain time, so if you can work around classes. So this person's using the phone for Duolingo and this one's using the laptop for karate. And even if you've got like a work thing that's got to be at the same time as a class, our classes are recorded. You can even work with, if you've got another like teacher class on Zoom, they can record their Zoom class like we're doing right now. And so you can go back and re-watch it. So making that schedule and working your classes around, just to make sure that everyone's got a turn with their class or their even entertainment, their games, and YouTube and whatever. Making sure that is perfect.
Perfect. Thank you very much, sir. And then Ms. Nikki, I know you did a great job kind of running school or being a school teacher back when this corona first started. We kind of ran a camp for a little bit there. and you're busy with helping kids with their homework and kind of running school for them a little bit here. So sometimes parents are like, well, I was taught differently, or I wasn't taught Common Core, or things of that nature. So what are some resources, or what can they do when they're trying to help their kids navigate and basically become their kids' teachers?
So I know that I wasn't taught Common Core, and kids that are learning it right now, if they're having a hard time understanding it, there's this really great website I found. It's called corestandards.org, and you're able to pick and choose the subject that you want and the grade levels that you want, and it'll kind of walk you through. Also tutorials on YouTube on how to do it, as well as I know for extra worksheets for the kids when we had them in our camp, if some kids wanted to do more math, a website that I used was greatschools.org. That was really great. You're able to break down the subjects, break down the grade levels that you're interested in, and it kind of has like a flow of how the lessons will go. So those are the two main ones that I used.
All right, very good. The other question that we got is when we're going to start up regular classes, and that we're basically waiting for the government to lift the lockdown order. I know Governor Ducey just extended it to May 15th or May 18th or something like that. So we're just waiting on them. But in the meantime, we have done a couple of improvements. So you might see some cool, nifty things when you come back that we've been trying to make some improvements while we don't have kids here. So that you should kind of be expecting that. Another question that we got is, this is kind of funny, is why are we so awesome? And so I just thought I'd take a minute and say we're awesome because the instructors love what they do. The instructors are here for the kids. They are very caring and very want to be a good influence for good for these kids. And of course, so is Miss Nikki and the whole team here. So they're awesome. We're awesome as a team because they're awesome as individuals. So I just thought I'd share that out with you as well. So thank you so much for watching Feedback Friday, and we will try and do this again. And in the meantime, go ahead and stay safe.